Hey book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ash and you are watching Smokedshelves. I'm back with yet another vlog, starting you out. I have been absolutely terrible about vlogging and just updating you on my reading and my life and in general. Yeah, that's my bad. Did not mean to make that happen. It's just been hectic, a very hectic week. I have a lot of assignments due in the next few days, so I've been very focused on that and haven't really read in a little while, but I will update you on everything that I have read since I've last spoken, and it's actually been a decent amount. But I do have like brief thoughts on my January wrap-up that I'll put up in the corner, so if you want to hear like final thoughts on it, more concise thoughts, you can go up there, but I will try to keep these kind of concise as well, since we know I don't have good memory and it's been a little while. I'm gonna be like heavily using my notes for this as well. The first thing that I read / listened to was Hang the Moon by Alexandria Bellefleur, and I listened to this because I was really intrigued to see if I wanted to continue on to Count Your Lucky Stars, which actually just released. Yeah, so I listened to this audiobook. I listened to Written the Stars sometime last year, I believe. Familiar with the world, familiar with these characters, and yeah, this one is following the original love interest, Darcy. It's following her best friend and her brother, and it's their romance. It's kind of like a friends to lovers, second chance, not really, friends to lovers romance, and I enjoyed it. It was one of those like, I'm gonna play out a bunch of cliches in romance movies or romance books for you to be convinced to like romance again, which I've actually seen quite often at this point in romance books. They're not really fake dating in this book, but we'll do like the kind of setup where it's like fake date using romance trope cliches. Yeah, that's the basic gist of it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I give this one 4 stars. I liked it more than the first book, and it makes me intrigued for Count Your Lucky Stars, which I have. If I really want to listen to it, I do have the audiobook sitting on my script, so maybe I will. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I do have it. I don't know when I'll get to it. You know when you enjoy it, but you can tell it's like, you don't love it. That's how I felt about this. Overall, thought it was fine. I enjoyed it more, like I said, than the last one. I actually really enjoyed Darcy in this book more than I enjoyed Darcy in the first book, because like, even though I think we had a dual POV in the first book, I feel like she was a lot more humanized in this book, because you saw the love from Annie for Darcy and you just saw their connection, which you didn't really have in the first book. So I really appreciated that relationship. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on it. I thought it was okay. After that, I think like on the last day of January, pretty much, it was either the 30th or 31st, I got my Libby hold through my library for Saga Volume 1. So there was the one volume they had with a hold. So I got that in and I just read through it. Doesn't take that long, obviously it's a comic. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. And I thought it was fine. Genuinely, I just thought it was kind of meh. I know it's a lot of people's favorites, like sci-fi comic series, and I was hoping that I would really enjoy it too, but it was okay. I didn't really like the way it jumped from perspectives, even though it had a narrator. I can't really explain why I was thrown off by it, but some way with the way it was set up kind of threw me off. Like, I just didn't love the structuring of the comic. I hope that makes sense, but I just didn't love it, so it threw me off a little bit with that. And then characters were fine. I feel like they're growing on me a little bit, and I am going to continue on because they are so quick to read. But I don't really see the hype just yet. But who knows? Maybe give it 2-3 more volumes and I will totally get why people absolutely adore it. I'm open-minded to it. I really am. But that was the second update that I have for you, and really the only update that I have for you, like completed reading wise. It's been uneventful for the last few days. It's the 4th right now, so yeah, it's been a little while since I read, but this has been a hectic week. This weekend is also gonna be hectic, but I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope that I can get some reading done. I have some plans actually to read. My plan for tonight is to start my first and only arc that I have right now. What is the name of it? I don't know the full title, but it's the Asexuality arc. It's a graphic novel, I believe. That should go through really quickly. I'm really excited. So that is my plan for tonight, is to read it and get that review sent out ideally tonight, but more likely tomorrow. And yeah, so that's the one thing I have planned for reading. I'm not currently listening to any audiobooks, so none of that, but I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated as things go on. And yeah, that's it for now. Like I said before, I don't really have anything to update you on with like personal wise. It's just been a lot of schoolwork, really busy, job apps, all that jazz. So yeah, I'm gonna go for now. Yeah, I'll check back in with you when I have some update. Bye for now. it is now many, 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 many days later, and I have not updated you on anything. I'm sorry for that. Forgive me. It's been a busy couple weeks. I think in the last clip I spoke a little bit about just having like assignments to do, and I've really just been spending a lot of my time doing those assignments, and they are still actively weighing my life down right now. But it's okay. I've actually done a lot of reading, surprisingly, considering that I have had this busy schedule. So let's just kind of rapid fire my thoughts with everything. A lot of them were short books with not too much thoughts, and I have Goodreads reviews for a lot of these books as well, because a couple of them are arcs, and I am just generally trying to review, like in a written review, as many books that I read as possible this year. It's kind of like an unspoken goal of mine to review everything that I read. I don't always have the thoughts for that, so if that's the case, I don't, and generally I just end up writing like a quick line or two. But I need to go through my list, because at this point I don't remember everything that I've read. It's a lot. Okay, so last time I spoke to you about Hang the Moon and Saga, which obviously I had finished those books in January. So let's just move on to the 5 books that I've read in February and haven't spoken to you about. My bad. A lot of these were very short and quick, so I read through them in like a night, and they were like graphic novels. Anyways, I'm not making excuses. I've been terrible at vlogging lately. That is my problem, and I need to get better at it. I need to get back in the flow with it and just with my schedule before I ramble on for too long and have a lot to edit through. Let's start. So the first book that I read in February was A Quick and Easy Guide to Asexuality by Molly Mordude and Will Hernandez, and I received this one as an ARC, and it was a very fast read. I think I read it within like an hour, hour and a half. It's a very short book. I ended up giving it 3 stars, I believe. I'm still grappling with a 3-star review. It might end up getting pushed down to 2 as I see more reviews come out with it, and just see how my fellow Ace readers also think about the way it was. I don't want to go too much in depth with what I did and didn't like, but the big thing that stood out to me was just the fact that they say A is for ally, or it could mean A is for ally. Like, they don't outright say, like, no, they don't outright say that it's not, which baffles my mind to this day. There's a lot of other gripes I had with it. There was a few things I think they did pretty well on. I really related to a lot of Molly's experiences, being, you know, female at birth kind of person that has to go to doctor will ask you, like, are you sexually active, and just not being believed being an ace person. We're not gonna get into it, but I did really relate to her, so I think that is what's gonna keep me at a 3-star. But I really did find those aspects, like the A for ally thing, a little frustrating, and it was very, very basic. But it is something that I think could help if you are an allo and you have no background on what asexuality is, or you're trying to come out to your family and you kind of just want to give them something to be like, here, please stop asking me questions, or just like, here's a way to start a conversation. As someone who's ace and has, I guess, done the work in these past, oh my god, how many years has it been since I've come out? 6 or 7 years now. In those many years, I've learned a lot more about asexuality, about its micro labels, about the split model theory, and how they don't even mention how aesthetic attraction is also like a 3rd thing. Nonetheless, I think it'd be a very, very, very beginner level introductory piece of media to just give someone. After that, I decided to pick up All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and I picked up their book because, 1, it's Black History Month, and I would love to read nonfiction stories from Black people, and also just right now with the States, I obviously don't live in the States currently, but as a States gal myself, one of the big things that has been going on has been book bans, and I know this book has been on the list for many states, and I wanted to just support the author and, you know, form my own thoughts on how I feel about the book, and just generally see what the fuck and why are we banning this book. And I don't see it personally, obviously. I think seeing queer books in schools and in public libraries, and I think seeing stories from people of color is important in schools and libraries, and combining those 2 intersections is absolutely essential, honestly, for other queer teens of color and queer children of color. I just wanted to read it to support the author. I know, obviously, like, read by authors of color all year round. I know that's a goal of mine, and I know that you know that is a goal of mine at this point. Yeah, I thought it was important to read, so I read it. I really appreciated it. I thought it had some really good stories and just spoke a lot about, like, the experience growing up, oh my god, years ago at this point, and how it's gotten better in some senses for queer teens of color and queer young adults, like college age adults of color, and just their experiences is very interesting to read about. The reason it was a 4-star instead of 5-star was just they were dead naming one of their family members who was trans. Dead naming and misgendering for the sake of a story is not okay. I understand there's a narrative to it, but it just hurts my soul to purposely dead name someone and purposely misgender someone because you want to tell the story that they were trans. So yeah, that was not cool, but overall the story is really interesting and I think hopefully can speak to a lot of young readers. Hey, after that, we're really making the jump. I went through a very weird month of reading so far. After that, I read Claimed by Cupid by Dana Isley, which is the second book in the Nick and Holly series. I don't know what holiday series. I don't know what the name of the series is called, but this is the second installment. It's New Year's Eve sort of and Valentine's Day holidays setup, and I gave this one a 4-star. I really enjoyed this one more than the last, like the first book in the series, and Nick and Holly are really growing at me. Still not a huge fan of the age gap. I think that's just a personal thing, so I'm learning to accept that it's not my thing, but Nick and Holly as a couple, they are growing on me, so I will continue to read this series. And Dana, as I have continuously said in these past couple months that I've been reading their things, she's really growing on me as an author, and while I don't think she'll be considered a favorite author of mine ever, she is definitely an author that I enjoy reading from and will continue to read from. Yeah, so that was fun. 4 stars, very steamy, love that. Was surprised there's more plot than you would expect. I think that's just how all of her stories are, is like there's more to it than just the steam. So yeah, I had fun with that. I really did have fun with that. And I cannot wait for the third one that I'm pretty sure is already being written. Don't know what the holiday is, but I'm excited. Very excited. Moving on to the 4th book. I really said I was doing rapid fire and I'm kind of proud of myself because I feel like I am actually rapid firing these. I read Game Changers by Rachel Reed. This is the first book in the Game Changers series. It is a male hockey romance. I mean, technically one of the main characters isn't a hockey player, but I know in some of the later ones they might have 2 hockey players because I know the next one is a rivals to lovers. Okay, I'm excited, but they're all male. They're very steamy, like way steamier than I was expecting. A lot of smoke. I'm okay with it. This one I gave 3 stars. I thought it was okay. It was not my favorite, but that's mostly just because for a like 350 page to 400 page book, I feel like nothing happened. I feel like it was really just, here's the relationship, they have a lot of sex, not much else really happens for a lot of the characters until the last 50 pages or so, where they kind of just work their shit out. And then it kind of pulled a trope that I don't love in this type of genre, where we have like one famous person and one not famous person, and it's always, the relationship is secret and the one who's famous is not out, you know? So I didn't love that. I don't think I ever will. I feel like it would need to be done very well for me to like it, but I like that this one handles it a little better, and in the fact that the main characters were on their own timeline and they didn't get outed, because that's my biggest gripe with those types of romances, is that they get outed. So at least that didn't happen. So like that redeemed it for me in a sense. And yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on that. I'm very excited to read the second one because that seems to be a fan favorite of my friends on the book world. That is book 4 of the month so far. And yes, it is only February 11th. I don't know what's going on, besties. I have had a very fun reading month so far. So the last book that I have read this month so far was also an ARC, and this one was Chef's Kiss by Jarrett Melendez, Danica Bryan, and Hank Jones. This one was very fun. I gave it 4 stars. I don't really have much to say on it. It was very like slice of life type of, yeah, it was just very like slice of life type of experience. You're just following our main character, I'm blanking on his name, Ben. You're following Ben and he's just, you know, trying to get a job, and it starts off with him looking for jobs in the publishing world, and he's not really having any luck, and he finds a help wanted sign for like a restaurant, and he starts working there, and shenanigans ensue. It's very wacky. There are some very interesting characters. I had fun with it. I gave it 4 stars. I honestly just wish it was like longer, and I just wish we had more resolution with Ben and his parents at the end, but I'm very excited to see that get published, and I hope it gets the love it deserves, because I thought it was really fun. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a series type thing where we'll see more from Ben and his friends, where maybe like we see more from his best friend. I can't remember her name right now, but because she was really interesting, I kind of actually want to know more about her story, but who knows? Maybe that'll be a thing, or maybe it's just a one-off. But either way, I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for it to publish. That's pretty much my thoughts. Those are all 5 of the books. I keep forgetting how many it was because it's been so long now. Those are all 5 of the books that I've read in February so far. I'm surprisingly having a really good reading month. We will see if I keep this up because things are getting busy, but I do have a week off in 2 weeks. Hopefully that means reading, maybe going somewhere. I really love to take another day trip to Glasgow, but for now, I am busy with school and getting shit done. I don't have much else to say. I got some plans for the evening tonight, but I will not be vlogging that. And yeah, I don't have anything else to update you, and I'm at a loss for words. Simplest way, let's close this out. If you like this video, please give this video a big fat like down below. Comment down below if you've read any of these books that I have read. What did you think about them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I've read a lot in this vlog, so pick one. If you've read multiple, just pick one. Let me know which is your favorite. Beyond that, please, please, please consider subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me if you did. And I really do hope you stick around. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.